Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Phillip Siddiq Show. We're covering the Mill Valley Film Festival 45, and we have with us a director, producer / director. This film, I implore you, go see. We're going to talk about backstage access. I mean, they got this guy to open up. It's called Fantasic Negrito. Have you lost your mind yet?
Yes.
It was thumbs up, brother, thumbs up. Let me read the guests in their bona fides. Francisco is a Chilean filmmaker who has been based in the Bay Area since 2016. He made his feature debut in 2021 with Underground Rumblings. He also writes, teaches, and works as a producer, director, editor, and sound recordist on commercial video projects. A native of Chile, Ivan, a writer, director, and producer, is based in Oakland. Among his films are Pedro y Guerrero, A Photographer's Journey, and Pescador in the Town. He also directed 2 Oakland set series, The North Pole and Normal Ain't Normal. And folks, we had a conversation before we hit the air. I didn't record it, so we're going to keep that private. So first of all, gentlemen, welcome to the film festival.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
Okay, so gentlemen, how did you guys meet and how did you put this film together? Because as I said, I saw it, and living in Oakland, I had really not heard of this guy before. And now after seeing it, I'm like, what was I doing? Because he's Oakland, LA, he's international. So gentlemen, go ahead.
Cool. I'll start it off. I mean, this project really starts with Francisco, but I'll just tell you how we met and how it came to me. I was in late 2019. There was a popular uprising in Chile. I know this sounds like it's far away from what we're talking about, but that's really what sparked me to say I want to make a short film over there. It was going crazy, and Francisco, I had just met. He was working construction with my dad, actually. He was like, I'm going too. And I was like, you want to help out? So we did this little short in Chile. And when we came back, that really bonding experience, he was like, hey, I have all this material. Like, I'm not sure what to do with it. Check it out. And he can tell you what the material was.
All right, Francisco, what was the material, my friend?
Yeah, basically I was living in here from 2016, and I'm working in construction, and at some point I decided left my job and find something more relative with media, and I found this internship in Storefront Record, which is the Fantasic Negrito production company. So they invite me to make some kind of social media stuff, things like that. And I just saw them incredible thing was happening there, because they were recording an album before that happened, before pandemic. And I understood that they was cooking something special, you know. Was because all the signal going in that way, you know. So I talked with them, and I asked if I can document in this in a film way, you know, and they say sure, but I don't think they expect them we finish in a documentary, you know. Just do whatever you want, you know. But they were really supportive in that way. And I start to filming all the process, incredible process, creation, reflection about some topics which was problematic about Oakland, race relations, so on and so on, you know.
And so yeah, he had like 40 hours of footage that I just saw, and I like sampled, and I was like, this is amazing, you know, super like organic, close. I could tell that Francisco had like a personal relationship with Xavier, with Fantasic Negrito. And so it looked like a very exciting project to jump into.
Yeah, because it really surprised me at how much access you guys got to him, because some of the subjects you cover, I mean, him going through the phases of his father kicking him out and everything else. I mean, a lot of artists, they hide that.
Mhm.
How are you able to get that on film? And it's not like blame, blame, blame. It's like, this is what happened. This is what I had to do, and go through Xavier's ups and downs.
I mean, credit to Francisco. He developed a close relationship first. I had met Xavier. He did the title sequence music for the North Pole. And so I had worked with him in that limited capacity. He screened the North Pole at his studio. And so we knew each other in an artistic kind of collaborator way, but not really a deep personal way. Francisco had that personal connection. And, you know, in documentary, that's the key. The key is to develop a trusting relationship with your subject, right? Or you're sometimes a collaborator, not a subject.
Mm-hmm.
And so it took us time. I mean, it was even harder during the pandemic. We couldn't really just have meetings and spend time together. So from the point where me and Francisco say, okay, we're doing a doc, it took longer mostly because of that, because of just the building of the relationship. And once Xavier trusted us and we talked more, we had this 2-day interview process. We then revisited that with a voiceover session, which became even closer. A lot of the most like personal things come in a later interview. So I think it's just, you know, becoming friends in a way that allows you to be close and create that closeness.
Yeah, it was, as I said, very, very eye-opening.
Mhm.
Now, were there subjects that, I mean, did he open up completely, or did he just, you know, give you a little bit and you had to, you know, I guess, pull it out of him?
I think different moment, you know, because when we were in the studio, I think I was watching something completely 100% access, you know, and I in that way, I mean, being around them, you know, was I feel completely integrate and completely trust and completely I have a chance to meet them because they are a team, right?
Yes.
In a really deep way, I think, but it's not the same then make an interview. So the interview take sometimes Xavier was able to share more, sometimes less, you know. Ivan can expand that part, I think.
Yeah, I think I mean, credit to Xavier. Xavier is super cognizant of his ego, right? And of his persona. And so our interview, if you watch our whole interview without cuts, it's pretty hilarious because sometimes he's like really honest and true. And then he starts talking like a performer, like a show. And like I would look at him and then he would be like, I'm the showman again. Okay, I'm great, I'm amazing. Okay, let's get back to it. You know, like, so he does the work in a way and was conscious of like when he had barriers. And to be super transparent, once we did the first interview, we had a cut and we realized that the story's there, the moments are there, but the, what's the word? I talk about vulnerability. The vulnerability wasn't there. And our editor, Capriles, shout out to her, she was like, man, just ask him like about vulnerability. And we had some questions and I was like, whatever, okay, maybe. The minute we threw that word out there, it triggered him. And he was like, what? You want to talk about vulnerability? Man, you motherfucker hasn't walked in my shoes. And then he goes off. And that's the opening of our film, kind of, is that raw reaction to people wanting him to be more vulnerable. And he explains like the difficulties he has to do that. And
Yes.
so it was finding I mean, that's what directors have to do, right? They have to find a way to get the realness out of their people. So yeah, it was not some pulling teeth, but it was definitely some fishing that we had to do.
Yeah. His relationship with his grandmother.
Oh,
That was so powerful. I'm so glad you guys caught that, because I mean, that will pull a lot of people in. And his adopted family, his brothers and sisters too. And when you talk about the what was it, the different, let's say, personalities, I know Malcolm had mentioned that. He says he's got 3.
Yeah.
You know, all these and boom, boom, boom. And like you said, he just switches up to, oh, I'm performing again.
Yeah.
So what would you like people to take away when they see this film personally? And personally, what did you two take away from the film that now you'll be able to go forward with?
For me, what I love about this film is his journey trying to find himself through different experience, different emotion, mistakes, self-reflection, all that kind of things, people, right? And all that kind of thing trigger to me, oh, I can connect because I came from a completely different country, you know, different kind of problems, or the problem are similar, but you can see this the similitude between the problems if you don't connect emotionally with the problems, you know. So in an emotionally way, we can connect with that experience, because I felt why I'm doing this film if I'm from Chile, you know. But finally, I could connect with that kind of things, you know.
Yeah, it's a human connection ultimately. For me, there's 2 things that I really keep from this film. One is that he really becomes Fantasic Negrito, his true self in a way, at 40 years old. So as creative people, you know, and like just people searching for a dream or a career or something that really is true to you, like it's never too late in a way, you know. Keep grinding, keep trying. There's going to be ups and downs, and sometimes you're chasing the wrong things, and that's really the lesson in his life, you know. Like he was caught up in a lot of things in the 80s in Oakland that was you know what I'm saying. There was that pull for money and the American dream. Then in LA, he tries to get signed. He gets signed, and he's chasing again that Hollywood, you know, glamour and fame. And so it's all these like temptations that this society has that take you away from your true artistic expression and drive you to addiction, depression, etc. And I think that's ultimately the lesson of this film, is that we wanted to, a lot of times, mental health, mental illness, or depression, etc., are seen as very individual issues, right? It's like what you're going through. It's very much about your particular experience, but we try to show, or the film shows, that it's actually a social issue. Like this is a society with a lot of shit thrown your way. And how are we not getting sick from it? You know, and like if you look at all the things that we're bombarded with, it's a struggle to remain healthy and sane. And the film talks about that, and I think it would help us to see that, have some empathy for folks, more empathy the better, and try to change how this society is affecting us.
Yeah, I would say you definitely have to learn how to dodge. If you want to survive, you better learn how to dodge. What was it? One last thing. Oh, the Afro Punk Club that he started. That was some wild stuff, because back in the day in San Francisco, they had underground punk clubs, and I would attend, and the mosh pit. I mean, people see it now, say, well, that's what you guys did. Well, yeah, you kind of, you know, elbow, a punch, a kick. I mean, that's what it was.
Yeah, it was wild. That footage is wild too. It's like some VHS cam or something.
Yep.
It was grimy too.
Yes, it was. As you said, it was organic and it was real.
Yeah.
All
Yeah,
right.
that's a great story that he had in LA, like that punk scene that he found. It was unexpected for us. When we found that footage, that was like one of those like gold mine things. Like, ooh, look at that.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely, for sure.
And also I want to say a lot of people were really open to help us when we ask for material or things like that. A lot of people bring their what they have and show us in order to include, because they were close collaborator in some point with Xavier, and really they want to put that on our film, you know. So I want to.
Community effort for sure.
And you know, I'm glad that you guys filmed it. I know some people, people talk about, well, if you didn't grow up here or you don't look a certain way, you cannot talk about this story. Now, since you guys are from Chile, he's an African-American guy. Some folks would say, well, you guys shouldn't do this film because you guys don't have the background. But you guys did a freaking fantastic job. And I think from looking on the outside, looking in, we get to see different angles and different things that you guys covered. And you guys did a damn good job on this, man.
Thank you. It was definitely a conversation for us. You know, we're not Black men growing up in the US like he is. But for me, it was definitely the organic creation of this project, like the relationships people had kind of validated, and the trust that Xavier gave to Francisco to say, do this is the key part for us, you know? And like Francisco said, like we grew up in a country with like a dictatorship and, you know, tons of levels of oppression, both physical and psychological. And it's super interesting to find those threads between us and the Black experience in America. I mean, it's super interesting and complicated. Not that we understand everything and we'll never like physically feel it, but like there's threads there, and that's the human experience that we need to try to kind of promote, you know? Yes,
definitely universal experience. Well, folks are going to wrap this up. We thank them, Yvan and Francisco. Okay, Fantasic Negrito, have you lost your mind yet? It's at the Mill Valley Film Festival. Get your tickets. I'm sure you will not be disappointed. And Ivan, yeah, my friend, hook up with the other guy about that other stuff too.
Well, so I will make it happen.
Yeah, anything else going on in Oakland? Yeah, come, you know, you.
For sure.
Yeah, that's not good. well, guys, thank you for the time, man. Enjoy the festival, brothers, and I'll probably see you guys later.
Sweet. See you then.
All right. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Bye.